Now, here is undeniable proof that I actually do read the comment section. Because in response to yesterday's video, I received some criticism, right? So individuals like this gentleman is basically stating that academic agent isn't actually supporting the British government censoring the American website 4chan, and he isn't necessarily saying that it's a good thing. You see, his videos are just about describing reality. They're not about casting moral judgment. And there were many people that said things like this, which I found interesting. There's also like this type of comment right here, saying that academic agent wants Europe to decouple from the United States. Another interesting take. But before we go into this, I want to address this one, right? So like academic agent doesn't support the ban of 4chan, and he's not saying it's a moral thing. Now, I don't know why people think I'm strawmanning. I mean, I even showed the tweet in the previous video. I don't know how more explicit can I be. I mean, again, if I go more explicit than this, I'll become pornographic and Ofcom is going to ban my ass. But like, here you have it from the horse's mouth. I back the most left-leaning authoritarian person that Britain has ever seen, and that the British government must reserve the right to fine American companies who operate here, right? So like in the infinite wisdom of the academic agent, the British government needs to crush its internet infrastructure with legislation to the point where BitChute, a British website, had to block Britain and move its headquarters out of Britain because of the hate speech laws that they had, right? So after destroying their own shit, now they need to regulate American stuff. Like, forgive me if I'm wrong, I just don't understand this level of patriotism, right? But I guess maybe it's like the pro-EU way of doing things where we legislate the living shit out of our internet until we don't have our own AI, we don't have our own social media, and then we use the Americans and then try to legislate that. Which, you know, like, of course is going to work until you're going to get a president that's just going to tell you to fuck off. And then you actually do become at the mercy of the Americans. But it's probably not going to happen this year. Although eventually, like, I assume it will happen, right? Like, you can't just use someone else's social media because you're incapable of creating your own and then expect that person to tolerate your shit in perpetuity. But anyway, right. For academic agent, like Britain über alles, even when it's led by left-leaning people. And as you can see here, like, he actually supports 4chan getting banned, right? So, I don't know, like, why do people think that I'm strawmanning? Like, do you not watch his videos? Was I not explicit enough? Like, what did I do wrong? Right? Again, I don't care what academic agent supports or not. Right? Like, at the end of the day, nothing changes. I'm way past of my debate me bro mentality. But it's just that I'm trying to understand the world. And more importantly, I'm trying to understand humanity. I'm not even kidding. Like, legitimately, I'm going through this phase of my life where I'm trying to understand why bad things happen to good people. Right? Like, the government especially has been fucking a lot of good people lately, and I try to understand, like, why is this a thing? And I seem to come again and again to the exact same conclusion that the reason it's happening is that no matter what the government does, no matter how much it raises taxes, no matter how much it neglects crime, or in some cases it even passes legislation that encourages crime, literally no matter what it does, it's always and every single time, it's not the people versus the government, it's the people versus individuals like academic agent plus the government. And this is what baffles me, because I'm trying to understand his point. It's like, why is he on the side of the government on this issue? Like, he's a right-winger. His side has been actively doxxed and suppressed off social media for the last decade. And not only that, but like, I know that he got doxxed and he got fired from university. And I remember this because I made a video talking against it and saying how fucked up it is. So, like, with all these experiences, with all this negativity, like, why would you be on the side of the government that fucked you over? And again, like, I would understand spite, which is what Sargon is doing. Like I heard them on the Arshcast basically saying, well, if I get censored, then everyone else should get censored. And at least I can respect that, right? Because it's part of human nature. Like, it's a natural emotion of mankind to be spiteful. It's a really powerful force in politics. Like, that I get. Even though it doesn't make any logical sense, even though, like, it's, right? Like, but I understand it as a part of a human emotion. However, this idea, when you see that the government is constantly censoring your side, and not only that, but you have, like, one of the most leftist politicians that Britain ever had in power, and you're like, you know what? That individual, like, he needs even more power. Okay, whatever. You know, it is what it is. Now, I understand he made a video where he tries to explain the reasoning on why 4chan should be banned by the United Kingdom. And basically, the UK is saying that with the Online Safety Act, they found illegal material on 4chan. Right? So they probably found like a 17-year-old anime girl in lewd positions, and they demanded that the entire website needs to comply with British regulations. And it's like, look, I understand the tragedy of the anime girl. Like, that's fine. But can't you contact the FBI? Don't you have the Interpol? Like, if someone did such a vile act of posting a 17-year-old underage girl on 4chan, don't you want that person to be locked up and placed behind bars? I mean, right? To me, this seems like a pretext. Like, I'm not willing to trust the British government, which said that it's creating the online safety bill in order to protect children, when Wikipedia gets targeted. When you have Reddit and subreddits that are for people who are victims of domestic assault, having to now dox themselves in order to access those websites. Or when on Twitter you have conversations about immigration in the British Parliament being censored unless people dox themselves. I don't think like this is a trustworthy administration in order to say, yeah, okay, they did find something bad on 4chan. Like, maybe they did, but like, even without the online safety bill, like, surely there are methods in order to apprehend users that post such vile content. And so, no, like this entire thing, I disagree with. And then there is the moral question. It's like, well, should the British government be able to punish a company that does business in Britain? And it's like, well, hold on a little bit, because the internet doesn't work that way. Like, the company is not on British soil, it's on an American soil. It's using American technology. What's happening is that British people are downloading the data from America at their request, right? So, like, they're requesting the data from the company in the United States, and they're pulling it in Britain. And so, no, like, I think if the British government wants to become like Pakistan or like China or like Iran or, you know, like any other nations that we don't consider free societies and start censoring their internet the same way that the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany did, you know, that's fine for Britain. If you want to censor the internet, go censor the internet. What I don't understand is like trying to force using your soft power on other nations on Earth to censor their websites based on British sensibilities. That's what I don't get. You know, oh my goodness, talks about immigration. Yes, hate speech in Britain. Harmful but legal. Like, I'm sorry, but this expression, harmful but legal content, it belongs in a mental asylum. I know I repeat myself, and some individuals don't like the fact that I keep calling Britain a mental asylum, but like, unless you can find me a different description of what I'm seeing when a politician comes out with like harmful but legal but harmful. What the fuck is legal but harmful? My dick is legal but harmful, but like I hope they're not going to ban it. And so anyway, right? No, it's not moral, right? And if you think that it's moral for Britain to decide that American websites should be banned, then would it be moral for Saudi Arabia to demand that any criticism of Islam should also be banned? And if YouTube complies, should it then ban Academic Agent's channel for violating YouTube's TOS? Because that's what we're talking about, right? Like, 4chan isn't a newspaper. It's not a gazette. There's a lot of people posting there. And basically what the United Kingdom is saying, right, like they don't have a business with the anime and shit. Like, this is why I don't even believe this. What they're basically saying is that they need to police the hate speech. So, like, talks about immigration, any type of talks that can happen with the person in anonymity, any type of criticism to Mr. Starmer, that's what they're talking about, right? And the thing that baffles me, again, is the fact that I see what's getting censored on Twitter. And a lot of the things that are getting censored are topics that Academic Agent at least used to talk. I don't know if he talks anymore on his channel. I've been told that now he's a communist sympathizer and a revisionism or Stalinist. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not going to start watching the man's entire video footage, but like I do know that some of the topics though, right, like back in the day when I used to watch him, are now being censored on Twitter. Why would you support something that's going to bite you in the ass eventually? This is what I don't get, you know? Like, it's not about debate me, bro, or persuading him, or trying to say that he's a bad guy or anything like that. I'm just trying to make sense of it. Because it's really bizarre. And it's not about him personally, it's that I know that there are other people like that, which apparently support policies that end up hurting them. And I don't know why. Now, regarding the event, whether or not it's going to happen, I did watch the video of Academic Agent. I'm not going to play it right now because it's like 20 minutes long and we're never going to go through it. Maybe I'll do a live stream and we can discuss some of the issues that he brings up. But basically he says that, well, eventually everything gets regulated, right? So people should just put up with it. Because it's coming from the government, you know, it's coming from God. Like, the God works in mysterious ways. The government, that's what it does. It regulates things all the time, just like the seatbelt in your car. I don't really accept this thing because, yes, while the seatbelt is a regulation, right? Like, I guess libertarians did lose the battle on the seatbelt. Libertarians have won the battle on many other legislations involving cars. Like, for example, back in the day, you weren't allowed to drive a car more than 20 miles per hour, and you needed to have a guy with red flags in front of the car. Seriously, look it up. It's on Wikipedia, right? That's why they call it red flag law. Because you needed to have a guy with a red flag to walk in front of the vehicle to basically signal to everyone that a car is passing. And so, guess who won that thing? You know, like, there is a difference between sensible legislation and there is another difference between government overreach. And I do think that right now, the internet is absolutely going to be destroyed if every single nation on earth, if every little island, if every little chucklehead working in a government is going to say, yeah, if there's a website that doesn't fit our government, it shouldn't exist. And then the problem happens, it's like, okay, what takes place when China thinks the same thing, right? Should I not be able to talk about Tiananmen Square just because YouTube decides to comply with Chinese sensibilities? Should I not be able to talk about Islam if YouTube decides to comply with the Saudi Arabia sensibilities? Like, that's fucking insane, right? Now, if it happens, it happens, but that doesn't mean that I should support it. At the end of the day, if a law is not supported by people, it doesn't pass. The only way a law passes is if there's at least some people supporting it. I don't support this nonsense. And I don't understand why any right-winger would support this nonsense because, again, like for the last decade, it's us that we got censored online, non-stop. And now that a leftist government, that's even like the most hysterical thing, a leftist government is deciding to add even more censorship. People are like, you know what? Starmer deserves it. I mean, he worked hard. Why shouldn't he get access to this power? You know, like, why wouldn't you trust Keir Starmer with censoring the fucking internet? You know who he is? He is Keir fucking Starmer. I do hope that America tells them to fuck off. You know, if Britain wants to ban 4chan, that's one thing. But if they do want to ban it, like, why all of this nonsense, right? Like, Academic Agent says, well, the fine is the reason to ban them. No, like, you can ban them without the fine. You don't need to make the fuss. You can just ban them. What is the purpose of this theater? And this whole idea, it's like, well, if you have a website and British people are on it, give me a fucking break, you know? Like, control your people then. Get them the fuck off the internet if they can't use it. There needs to be, like, some indignation, doesn't it? You know? Like, if someone on the street came up with that concept, wouldn't you tell them to fuck off? Like, seriously, people need to start having a little bit more common sense. Like, when someone is demanding something that's unreasonable, like, the normal healthy thing, the human healthy thing, is to go like, who the fuck do you are? And treat them the exact way that people who embrace this type of totalitarianism deserve to be treated. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you on the comment section. Take care.